Meow, my friends. It seems Russia's decided to spice up the war with a dash of hypersonic flavour. Vladimir Putin's latest toy, the Oreshnik missile, has made its explosive debut in Dnipro. And let me tell you, this isn't your grandmother's ballistic missile. This fancy new gadget can zip around at Mach 11. That's about 13,000 kilometers per hour or 8,000 miles per hour. At that speed, it could circle the Earth faster than you can say international incident. But don't let the impressive numbers fool you. This isn't just about breaking the sound barrier. It's about breaking the rules of conventional warfare. The Oreshnik, packing multiple non-nuclear warheads that scatter upon impact, is Putin's idea of a party popper, and he's chosen Dnipro as the unfortunate host of this deadly celebration. Why Dnipro, you ask? Well, it's only Ukraine's fourth largest city and a crucial hub for military logistics and humanitarian aid. It's like Russia decided to play darts with a map of Ukraine and hit the bullseye of strategic importance. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk, who's been playing political musical chairs between Warsaw and Brussels, is calling this a decisive moment. He's not pulling any punches, warning that the conflict is taking on very dramatic dimensions. Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. I'm sure the folks in Dnipro hadn't noticed the hypersonic missiles raining down on them. It's like saying water is wet, or that bears have an unsavoury habit of using the woods as their personal lavatory. Meanwhile, Ukraine's parliament decided to take an impromptu holiday. I guess when Russia's hurling hypersonic missiles your way, debating the national budget suddenly seems less urgent. It's like showing up to work and finding out that your office has been replaced by a crater. Suddenly that quarterly report doesn't seem so important, does it? But let's not forget, my friends, this whole hypersonic hullabaloo didn't come out of nowhere. Just a couple of days ago, Ukraine decided to test out their new toys, US-supplied ATACMS missiles. They took aim at Russian territory for the first time, hitting weapons depots in the Bryansk and Kursk regions. It's like a high-stakes game of ping-pong, but instead of balls, they're lobbing missiles. I'd hate to see what happens when someone pulls out the paddle. Now, NATO's scratching its collective head, wondering how to respond to this latest escalation. They've scheduled emergency talks faster than you can say hypersonic, set for November 28th. I'm sure they'll issue a strongly worded statement any day, meow. That'll show 'em. Maybe they'll even send a sternly worded letter, or worse, unfollow Russia on Twitter. The horror. But seriously, my friends, this conflict's been going on longer than a cat's nap in a sunbeam. 33 months and counting. It's like the world's longest, deadliest game of Risk, with real lives at stake. And just when you think it can't get any more intense, someone decides to up the ante with experimental weapons. It's like the Cold War's greatest hits are making a comeback, with hypersonic missile crisis topping the charts. The implications of this latest development are as far-reaching as the missiles themselves. NATO countries are likely to feel the economic pinch as they scramble to bolster their defences against these new threats. It's not just about military spending. We're talking potential disruptions in energy supply chains, market instability, and the kind of inflation that makes you wish you'd invested in that underground bunker instead of avocado toast. Who knew that nuclear fallout shelter would become the hottest real estate trend of 2024? But let's take a moment to appreciate the absurdity of modern warfare, shall we? We've gone from throwing rocks to launching invisible death machines that travel faster than the speed of sound. It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie. But instead of cool aliens, we get politicians with itchy trigger fingers. It's all fun and games until someone loses an intercontinental ballistic missile. And speaking of absurdity, let's talk about the technological one-upmanship between Russia and NATO countries. It's like a deadly game of anything you can do, I can do better. But instead of singing contests, we're dealing with weapons that can vaporize cities. What's next? Missiles that can time travel? Bombs that turn people into puppies. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, some of you might be wondering about the legality of using such advanced weapons. Well, let me tell you, international law is about as clear as mud on this one. It's like trying to apply traffic rules to a Formula One race. Sure, there are guidelines, but when you're going that fast, who's going to pull you over? The UN Security Council is probably dusting off their Rules of Hypersonic Warfare handbook as we speak. I'm sure it's right next to the Intergalactic Peace Treaty and Zombie Apocalypse Survival Guide. But fear not, my feline-friendly viewers. Your trusted news source is here to keep you updated on all the missile mayhem. If you're as confused by all this hypersonic hoopla as a cat in a dog park, hit that subscribe button. We'll keep you informed faster than you can say Mach 11. After all, in the world of hypersonic news, if you blink, you might miss World War III. In the meantime, let's hope the international community can find a way to de-escalate this situation before it spirals further out of control. After all, in the game of hypersonic chicken, there are no winners, only very, very fast losers. And let's be honest, the last thing we need is more world leaders playing with toys that go boom. It's like giving a toddler a nuclear launch code. Sure, it might keep them quiet for a while, but the cleanup is going to be a nightmare. As we watch this high-stakes drama unfold, one can't help but wonder, is this the dawn of a new era in warfare, or just another chapter in humanity's long history of finding increasingly efficient ways to blow each other up? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the world is changing faster than a chameleon on a disco floor, and we're all along for the ride. So, my friends, keep your eyes on the skies, your ears to the ground, and your fallout shelters well stocked. In this brave new world of hypersonic missiles and hair-trigger tensions, the only thing moving faster than these new weapons is the rate at which our leaders are losing their marbles. But don't worry, as long as there's news to report and cats to feed, I'll be here, bringing you the latest updates with a side of sardonic wit and a generous helping of feline charm. Remember, in a world where missiles move at Mach 11, staying informed is your best defense. Well, that and a really, really thick titanium umbrella. So keep watching, keep laughing, and for the love of all that's furry, keep your paws off that big red button. I'm Ron de Parmesan, and this has been another Newscat special report. Stay safe out there, and may your whiskers always be one step ahead of the shockwave.